Alright, here we go with a little battle. I wanted to showcase a army of hybrid units versus a garrison. So the garrison would normally have spear, shield, and most of the time they don't walk out unless they overpower or meet the value of the army you're approaching them with. So in this one, I'm trying to leave the hybrid units in their position. I don't want to micromanage it that much, and also if they're out of combat, I will try my best to send them into combat. For the most part, I'm just trying to see how they perform all on their own. And even in the opening there, they do a little bit of wounds across the board, and they actually make, I think, about 4 casualties in total in the advance. If you were to able to focus fire, I think they could decimate a unit on the approach, especially with that many guys. Or so maybe you could even split the army into 2 halves, and one side focuses the left flank, one side focuses the right flank. Could dramatically reduce the pressure upon charge. So the enemy themselves, they're going to put a couple pressure points on the army where they want to break it, and so you can see them group up there. They won't quite spread across. Just really keep an eye on your ammo, who's running out, who's not in combat. Other than that, just hang tight and let them do their thing. So yeah, we finally got the first one out of ammo. I'm going to try and get him into combat. Now, this little maneuver, I've been messing around, and sometimes the enemy will stretch itself thin. And so I'm trying to mess with the enemy just for a moment, just to see what they do. So they don't like being surrounded, so sometimes they'll attack what's behind them with a different group. And as you can see it actually kind of play out here, they utilize one group to actually hit the group behind them, and then the other group is just kind of locked in the middle of being surrounded there by the units. That's probably going to be the first enemy unit to break there in the corner. And there it is. Nice. Okay. So I'm keeping an eye out. Everybody else has still got ammo. So it's really important that the guys on the front line are using their melee weapons, while the other ones that are standing behind the front line, not in contact, are actively still firing their bows. There's another small unit that broke. And you can actually notice how far the enemy was able to push some of our hybrid units back, and that can actually be a detriment to their cause. That can actually create their own units being surrounded by my units that aren't being pushed back. Here's a nice loose formation showcase. See how the archers were able to move through that loose formation real easy, and then the positioning broke the enemy morale. Here's the victory march. They're not even going to make contact. They're just going to march right on down, and everything will flee. Alright, that was a fun one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.